Hello, chess fans. In today's video, I'll be sharing a game in which I played the Evans Gambit. This dynamic opening in the Italian game involves an aggressive pawn sacrifice by white to boost development and create exciting attacking opportunities. Game starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to c4. My opponent moved their bishop to c5. I played pawn to b4. My opponent accepts the gambit by capturing on b4. I pushed my pawn to c3. The bishop retreats to e7. I castled my king to safety. My opponent developed their knight to c6. I moved my pawn to d4. My opponent captured on d4, and I recaptured with my pawn. My opponent castled. I advanced my pawn to e5. My opponent's knight retreated to e8. I then pushed d5, and the other knight moved to a5. I moved my bishop back to d3. My opponent pushed their pawn to d6. I played bishop to d2. My opponent advanced the pawn to c3, using their queen to defend the knight. I moved my queen to e1, attacking the knight twice. My opponent advanced their pawn to b6 to defend the knight. I captured on c3 with my pawn. My opponent recaptured with the knight. In this position, I missed a tactic. Can you find it? Moving my queen to e4 forks the knight and the pawn on h7. Back to the game. I developed my other knight to c3. My opponent captured the pawn on e5. I positioned my queen to e4, forking the knight and the pawn on f7. My opponent moved their bishop to b7 to defend the knight. I delivered checkmate by capturing the pawn on f7 with my queen. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your support. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell so you can stay updated with all our latest content.